Growing up, I had a lot of energy. I used to run everywhere, always in my football kit, always with a football. I remember at home, in the garden, running around, playing football with my brother. We'd play until we were dizzy. We'd run and run and run until it was so dark outside, we couldn't see each other. My mum would shout out the kitchen window, "Boys, come on in now, it's late." I'd get inside and she'd smile and she'd say, "George, you're hyperactive." And she was right. I am. I had so much energy, and I still do. Running, playing football, that was my childhood. And soon it became my life. At 13, I was signed to one of the top professional football clubs in the country. So at that point, my life completely changed. At 13, my life became football. I remember getting home from school. I'd run home from school. My dad would get home from work. My mum would make sure my kit's all ready. We'd jump in the car, get straight up the motorway for 50 minutes to the training ground for training pretty much every night of the week. And at weekends, we'd have matches all over the country. My dad would drive me from Derby to Leeds to Bolton. And I loved it. At first, it was my release. It was where I could express myself on the pitch, running up and down the pitch. I felt free. But as I got a bit older, 16, 17 years old, football started to feel different. It was becoming a bit more serious, a bit more professional, a potential career at the football club. And I started to play football differently. The best way I could describe it is that I was on the pitch, but I wasn't on the pitch. I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. I spent most matches thinking about the mistake I just made, or the pass I misplaced, or the shot I missed, or worrying about not making the same mistake again, not winning the game, or worrying about what others thought of me. I spent most matches here, in my head. And to be honest, as a result, I can't remember many. The thing is, I looked at the other lads in the academy, my teammates. They felt different. They seemed different. They were relaxed. They were natural. They were happy. They were free. There was nowhere else they wanted to be. They were exactly where they were meant to be. They were at home. But I didn't feel that. I felt I didn't quite fit in, like there was somewhere else I should be. And it wasn't just playing football. It was off the pitch as well. Growing up, I had an amazing life, a great family. My mum and dad, my brother and sister had great memories. I remember my first girlfriend, falling in love at 17. The excitement, the butterflies, the nerves, all of my energy completely captured by her. And at school, I had good times at school. I did well at school, but I just never felt like I could really relax, really be me. And so I felt, if home isn't here, if it's not on the pitch, if it's not in the changing rooms, if it's not at school, if it's not in this place, it must be somewhere else. I have to go somewhere new, go away to find that feeling. And so that's what I did. I stopped playing football, I left my girlfriend, I left my family, and I moved away. And for the first time in my life without football, I had space to explore, space to try new things. And I was drawn to creating and making things. I've got all this energy. It's got to go somewhere. And creating and making just felt right. It started with sketches and ideas and logos, and then apps and businesses. And it quickly turned to entrepreneurship. Fixing and selling watches was my first one. An app to connect sports fans was the next. And before I knew it, I'd started a business. I remember my first logo, my first app, making my first money, my first customer, my first employee, my first investor, my first office. So much of it was pure joy, pure creation, pure expression. But some of it somewhere was hoping that if I build something, if I create something, I'll feel what those lads felt on the pitch. But as each milestone came and went, I felt nothing. And with the business, I travelled and lived in lots of different places, from Sheffield to Newcastle to London. And each time I moved, I hoped that when I'd arrive, I'd have this feeling of, I found it. I'm here. But it never came. And so after 3 years of trying everything, different places, different houses, different relationships, different businesses, I felt like I'd tried everything, but felt nothing. I felt empty. I felt hollow. I felt numb. I felt alone. I felt miles away from me, miles away from myself. Until one day, my best friend James gave me a call and said, "Mate, I've got something you should try. It's a bit different, but trust me." He described it as like a group coaching session. He said it's a bit like Fight Club, the film Fight Club. What's talked about in there stays in there. James had been going for a while and said, "Mate, trust me, it's good stuff." I was intrigued. I trust James, so I went along. And when I got there, it was a private room, dimly lit, mood lighting. There's like a candle burning in the corner, nice smell. 8 comfy, unique chairs seated in a circle, glass of water with each chair, tissues in the back. And I'm thinking, I'm used to football changing rooms. I'm used to lads that I know well sitting in a circle, muddy kit. It doesn't smell great, but I feel safe in there. Here, I felt miles out of my comfort zone. I felt nervous. I felt anxious. I felt sick. And at this point, 7 or 8 strangers have turned up too, and they seem to feel the same way as me. Now, the session is led by a coach, and I'd like you all to follow along with me for this bit. The first thing he asked us to do was just to close our eyes. Close your eyes, and just to put your hands on your stomach, and just to take a deep breath in, pushing your stomach into your hands. So, deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And just as you continue breathing, just notice you breathe in, your surroundings, your hands on your stomach, what you hear, what you smell. And just notice your thoughts as they come and go. And relax. Open your eyes. Now, I'm feeling it a bit now. I feel a bit lightheaded, a bit dizzy, a bit high. The session continued, and the first time I experienced this, it blew me away. I felt something. I felt something. I didn't know what I'd felt, but it felt powerful. The best way I could describe it is like when you go to a gig, that rush, that adrenaline, that high of connection you get when you get home. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know it, but this is what I'd been looking for. This was where I was meant to be. And I wanted more. I wanted more of that feeling. So I went again. And I went again to more group coaching sessions, to one-to-one coaching sessions where I experienced even more. I went to therapy, explored more of my past. I meditated. I journaled every morning for 30 minutes, writing down how I felt and connecting to my thoughts. I even tried flotation tanks, lying in the dark on my own with just me and my thoughts. Each time, I felt like I was going further and further and feeling more and more. I felt alive. I felt reconnected to me. I felt closer than I've ever felt to me. I started to feel more present, more aware, more relaxed, more at peace, like the lads felt on the pitch. I felt at home. I thought You had to go somewhere, meet someone, start something to find that, to feel that. But it was always here, within. I just didn't know how to get there. And my life started to feel different. I stopped searching for something. I started to reconnect with the things that make me feel good, the things that I love, but it came from a different place now. Creating, making, my family, running, my fitness. James, my best friend that I mentioned earlier, we went on to continue creating and making together. But this time it felt easy. It felt natural. We went on to start a company that today helps thousands of others experience this feeling too, through coaching at work and lots more. Over the last couple of years, I'm running again. I'm running everywhere. I feel like I'm back in the garden with my brother. This time I'm on the pitch. I'm on the run, fully present, fully connected, completely free. And as a result, I'm running further and faster than I've ever ran before. In the last couple of years, I've run marathons, and this year, I'm running my first ultra marathon at one of the UK's highest mountains. I've also started a run club to help others run in this way too. We have hundreds of us now running mindfully and running together. This year, we're bringing it to school. We're doing events and retreats and bringing it to schools to help kids run in this way too. Something I wish I'd had when I was growing up. And who knows, if I was more mindful, more present, more connected, maybe I'd have been a professional footballer. I've moved back to where I've grown up. I now live 2 minutes down the road from my mum and dad. But now I feel relaxed, I feel calm, I feel at peace. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And that girl I met at 17, the girl that I left, I'm getting married to this year. The thing is, home isn't a place, it's not a person, it's not a sport, it's not a thing. Home is here. Home is within. Home is about spending time with yourself. It's about accepting yourself. It's about being at peace with yourself. And when you find that feeling here, you'll find home. So, if you're still searching, you haven't quite found it yet, you're not sure how to get there, I just have one idea for you to take home with you today. Home is just a breath away. Thank you.